Let's just play some tunes one time. Yeah, give me 1 second. What up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with Jay. Friday, NBA Talk with Jay, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. There's a ton of games, so I'm not here to waste your time. Quick story though, man. I did have like this crazy ass dream, man. It was a crazy dream. I can't really say all of it. Don't really remember all of it, man. But for whatever reason, like this building, like the Empire State Building or something like that, man, it was like crashing down, man. That shit was crazy as hell, man. Just I don't know why, but we were walking towards some building, me and my homies, and then it was just like this fucking building, just like super tall ass building, just started crumbling down, man. I don't know what that means, but that's what happened. I woke up like, what the fuck is going on, man? Crazy dream, man, to be perfectly honest with you. Really crazy dream. But let's get straight to it into this one. Like I say, there's a ton of games. I'm not here to waste your fucking time. Let's get straight down to business in this one, my guys. First game up. Let's head over here to the streets of, yeah, appreciate everybody in the chat as well, man. If y'all like the show, hit the like button, my guys. One time for the one time. You dig what I'm saying? Let me see. Just real quick here. Gotta do some shit here on the phone. Let me see what we got. All right. Sorry, guys. All right, let's get straight to it over this. First game, let's go over to the streets of Charlotte in this one. Hornets getting 11.5 points at the house versus Orlando Magic in this one. Tough game. I mean, it's not a tough game. I can only look towards Magic. It's a simple game here. The Hornets do have their guys playing in this one. Brandon Miller, Grant Williams. I know Nick Richards is still questionable in this game, but the Magic are balling right now. They've absolutely owned the Hornets. They've beaten them 5 straight times. They've covered 5 straight games as well. 6 of the last 7, 7 of the last 8. No, not 6 of the last 7. Let me see. Yeah, 6 of the last 7, 7 of the last 9, and then 7 of the last 8 of the last 10 as well, my guys. So they've basically owned the Hornets. And they're 9-1 against the spread, not 8-2 against the spread as well. Last 10 versus the Hornets, my guys. So Magic are nothing for me in this one. Obviously, they are coming off a big win, but they're just two totally different type of teams. Magic are balling. They play defense. They're getting ready for the playoffs. The Hornets, they're getting ready for the playoffs in Cancun. They're getting ready to watch the playoffs. You feel what I'm saying? So they're only 1-9 straight up in their last 10 games. They obviously don't want to win games. Sometimes they can be a little feisty and decide that they want to cover spread and play a team close. That's why they rest their guys versus teams that they can win against. And then when they know that they don't really have a shot winning, it's like, all right, we're going to play our guys in this one. The coach stepped it. That's how ass the Hornets are. He's tired of the tanking shit too, man. He's like, man, y'all know Melo could play. I'm out of here, man. Like, give me a front office role. I still want to get paid. I still want to stay with the team, but I can't do this coaching these young guys that only care about buying jewelry and shit anymore, man. Shout out to Steve Clifford. He said he's done with it. He's over this shit. They have covered 3 of their last 5 games. This is their 6th straight home game as well, but want no parts of the Charlotte Hornets in this one. Magic, I would just look towards the Magic or I'd stay off this game. Let's go over to the streets of Indiana in this one. Pacers land 5.5 points at the house versus the Thunder. No SGA in this one. Jalen Williams is doubtful in this one. And it's crazy because obviously the Thunder need to get that number 1 seed, but it just kind of looks like they're kind of like they'd rather rest up for their playoffs in this one. You do have the Pacers that are really great at bouncing back, guys. This is one of the best teams in the NBA when bouncing back off of a loss, and that's what they're coming off of here, coming off of bad loss to the Brooklyn Nets as well. There's a number 1 team in the NBA against the spread when coming off a loss. 21-11-2 against the spread are the Indiana Pacers when coming off a loss. That's the role that they're in here. like I said, coming off their loss versus the Indiana Pacers, they haven't dropped back-to-back games, ATS or straight up in their last 10 games. So if they lose one, like they usually bounce back. So I'd like to lean towards the Pacers in this one. Can the Thunder match up with them? You damn right. Will you need Miles Turner in there? Most likely, you're going to need Miles Turner because obviously they don't have a ton of size. They got my guy Jalen. Who is this? Jalen John. What's Cuz name, man? Jalen Smith. They got Jalen Smith that'll step in there and be the center, but obviously he's nowhere near the shooter of Miles Turner. He is a little bit like a little bit better defender, a rim protector, but they call my guy Sticks. He's put on a ton of muscle, but he's still like a smaller type of center. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, you'd have Obi Toppin running at the backup center. So if I like the Pacers here, I'd like for Miles Turner to be in there. Like I told you guys, he went and saw a hand specialist. His finger was pretty messed up. So we'll see what happens with that one. Pacers have owned this series. They've won the last two. They won earlier this year in OKC, 121-111. As 5.5-point underdogs. Now they're 5.5-point favorites. That's an 11-point jump there. They've actually won 7 of the last 9 games versus the Thunder as well, and 6-3 against the spread. So the Pacers have matched up really well versus the Thunder. Thunder, it's not many times that they come off of back-to-back losses. This is their 4th straight road game, coming off a couple tough games versus Philly, versus the Celtics as well. 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 6 nights, all on the road here. And they play the Hornets on deck. So they probably feel like they can win their next 3 games, which I like the Thunder to win their next 3 games after this one as well. But this is a Pacer spot. I could only look towards Pacers. Me personally, I'd really like to have Miles Turner out there. That's when they really have the biggest advantage, where you can run Jalen Smith off the bench as the center. He's not a starting caliber center in today's league. You know what I'm saying? But Siakam could go crazy here. It's a really great matchup, especially if Jalen Williams that play. It's a really great matchup for Siakam. I'd look at Siakam over his points and over his PRA in this particular game. It's actually a really good matchup for him here. So over to the streets of Boston in this one. Celtics land 9 points at the house versus the Kings. Celtics already got the number 1 seed locked up. Like they officially have it locked up, clinched now. That's probably why they're sitting out Jaylen Brown and Derek White tonight, man. So this line was at 10. Opened up at 8.5, went to 10. Now it's back down to 9. I'm pretty sure that I see right here on RotoWire that they're saying that that Jaylen Brown and Derek White are out, and it makes sense. That's the reason why the line went down. So if you want some Jason Tatum props, obviously he can do whatever hell he wants here. Kings are coming in off a back-to-back. Not the best of spots when you fly from Sacramento to New York, and then you have to play a back-to-back. Last time they did that, when they went from Sacramento to Toronto, the next night they lost versus the Wizards outright. You see what I'm saying? So that should be. I gotta add that in my repertoire there. When teams are going from tippity top of the country, switching these time zones, and then you play a back-to-back, that's even more sluggish spot. You see this Kings get up by 15, by 17 last night, and then end up losing the game. See what I'm saying? So it could be the exact opposite, where they might come out with where they might I don't know. I'm not betting against the Celtics. That's one thing I know here. See what I'm saying? They've owned the Kings. They've won. The Celtics had a back-to-back 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 6 nights, 5th game in 7 nights, all on the road. And they were without, I believe, Jaylen Brown. And they still went out there and smacked. They were without somebody. Let me see in this game. No, they were without Tatum in that game. They were without Tatum. They were without Al Horford. And they still went out there and smoked the Kings in Sacramento as well. And the Kings still had Malik Monk as well. They beat them 144-119 on December 20th. So we know that the Kings, without Malik Monk, they're going to start to drop. The Kings might even end up in the fucking 10th seed, guys. Like literally, it's crazy because they've actually had a great season. They were with 44-32, and they might end up in the 10th seed. That's how tough the West is. And the Kings can't really fuck with nobody in the West as well, especially without Malik Monk out there. Then Kevin Huerter went down as well. Celtics have won 5 straight. They've covered 5 straight as well versus the Kings. They damn near own this team. The Celtics are just one of those type of teams that even though they have the number 1 seed locked up and don't have anything to play for, they just go out there and play their game and shoot them threes, man. And before you know it, they're up by 20 fucking points. You see what I'm saying? Even though in theory we should be betting against the Celtics, they just like the way that they're playing, man. They're playing on a different level. They're playing like some aliens or something. You dig what I'm saying? So, like in theory, we should be staying away from the Celtics for these last 6 games in theory. But like I say, you bet against them, and they show you like, all right, we like the new Warriors over here, man. We're the new Warriors, and Mazzulla really has them guys coached up, playing well. He knows how to motivate them. He knows how to keep them motivated. But I do know that they don't want to risk injury, though. You see what I'm saying? So this is a coin flip type of game. It's always tough. In theory, we should be betting against the Celtics, but I can't do it. You see what I'm saying? If the Kings were able to keep this game close, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's not a game that I feel comfortable with betting, my guys. Let's go over to the streets of Milwaukee in this one. The trash-ass Bucks. It did just look like, and we should have known this already, guys. Unfortunately, I couldn't do a night show last night, man. I'm doing all type of shit, but the Bucks, we knew that Lillard was coming back in this game. Like Doc Rivers literally said it on Tuesday that we'd like to get him back on Thursday, but it's probably going to likely be Friday. He was basically saying, like, if he doesn't come back Thursday, he's going to be back Friday. The beat writers tell us all of this info, guys. You dig what I'm saying? So Lillard is coming back. He's expected to play. They're coming off a couple horrible losses. Now, if this is the Bucks team, I know they got to come in here like a little pissed off. Now, I'm not saying that I'd lay the 15 with them. This is the Raptors. So like if you had I gotta give me like a little prescription pad or something. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes like it's just sometimes you can see a team over there and that's just what the doctor ordered up. And when I tell you, when the Bucks been struggling, and when I tell you that the prescription that with the refill, that's what the doctor ordered up is the Toronto Raptors. This team is like, I think they've lost like 15 straight games. It's just crazy because like that'll probably go down as the best investment that I've ever made. Is betting on the Raptors in-season win total under. That's probably go down as the best investment that I've probably ever made, man. They hadn't won a single game since. Like, literally, they haven't won a single game since Scotty Barnes went down, and they realized that they want to try and keep their pick as well. They've lost 10 straight. They've lost 15 straight. Only 1-9 against the spread last 10. They're coming off a game where they got smoked, 133-85. Them, they're a 50-point loss versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Bucks hadn't really showed us a lot. Doc Rivers did kind of call them out, saying like these teams, like they're just not really coming to play. They're not playing with effort. They're not caring about the fans. Internet. When you lose back-to-back game as double-digit favorites, you gotta come out with some pride the next night. So what I would do here, I would look towards the Bucks on their team total over. I know the other night they bit us in the ass, but the Raptors aren't going to put up a ton of fight here, in my opinion. That's what I would do. And it's crazy because it'd been nice to hop on it right before I was trying to do the show. Obviously, they took the game off. It was at 120. It's up to 122.5 now. I'd still lean their way. I'd lean towards the Bucks first half full game, and I'd lean to their team total as well. If they don't cover this game, like they really got a problem. If they don't win this game by 20 points, it's really a problem for the Bucks in this game. See what I'm saying? So this is a turn-up spot for the Bucks. In theory, it should be a smack city, smoke city type of spot. They better, or it's gonna be some real problems over there, man. So, but I just want you guys to understand the Raptors are just what the doctor ordered up. They're not really playing hard right now, like the Wizards are, or like the who else had beat them, like the Wizards or like the Grizzlies are. They had Jaren Jackson Jr. went crazy in that game, man. The Bucks probably come out and play in this one, and this should be a smoke city, smack city type of spot in this game. Let's go over to the streets of New Orleans in this one. Pelicans laying 11 points at the house versus the Spurs. I mean, I don't know what to do with the Pelicans. We know that they're a great team. They've absolutely owned the Spurs. A lot of that was Zion. We don't even know if Zion's playing. He's listed as day-to-day, which means that he's probably – I don't know if he's going to play or not. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. It could be they're probably going to play with us all day. Like when they say day to day, they're going to play with you all day with that shit, man. So they've owned the Spurs. They've won 8 straight games. They've won 9 of the last 10. They're 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 matchups versus the Spurs as well. Like they just own this team. Obviously, this is a spot where it's like if they're going to win this game, they should win it and blow out. You obviously need Zion out there because they're obviously we're still without Brandon Ingram and without. Let me see if they're still without Jose Alvarado. Doesn't look like Jose Alvarado is ruled out. It doesn't. I don't see him ruled out. But yeah, Alvarado is still out. So Alvarado's out. Ingram is out. They've really missed him. Now you're talking about possibly having Zion is out as well. We've seen that they've really missed these guys. Now, this is the 6th straight home game for the Pelicans. They need a win in the worst way. They're only 1-5 straight up in and against the spread on this homestand. I'd lean their way, but it's just like it's really hard to trust them, to be honest with you, especially with Wemby playing some of his best basketball of the season. You got guys that's over there that's going to be hungry in this one as well. I wonder if they're going to put Devontae Graham is. Y'all remember who Devontae Graham is? My guy should have stayed. I remember when he was with the Hornets. He was fucking balling, man. Then he got a contract. That's like the Devontae Graham. I'm not gonna go too off on his tangent, but Devontae Graham is the epitome of the NBA these days. You ball out. You see what I'm saying? When you're a rookie, when you're a sophomore, you get a nice little contract extension. You get $20 million a year. Oh shit, we chilled now, bro. We chilled out. We finna get us a Bentayga. We finna get us some chains. all that, man. Buy a couple girls, all type of shit, man. He's the epitome of the NBA. And then my guy is like literally fell off the face of the earth, my guys. He's fell off the face of the earth. He's playing for the Spurs and can't even get playing time. But that's it. I just want y'all to see. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's not shit that I'll just be making up. I just want y'all to see. But whatever. But I wonder if he gets in the game here and try to have, because he did used to play for the Pelicans as well. The Pelicans even traded for him. And I was saying, oh, that's a good pickup for him. Man, he went to New Orleans, like the end of the bench. End of the bench. You see what I'm saying? If you on the Spurs and you can't get fucking playing time and they're tanking, all right, I'm finished, man. I know they feel like it's a huge waste of money. My guy might not get another contract. He might not get another contract, man, but can only look towards the Pelicans in this one. Should be a smack city spot. I can't trust him, especially with these injuries, especially not knowing if Zion plays, but if Zion did play, he might just like disrespect Wemby type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know Wemby got the box, but Zion, he's like 3 of Wemby. Even though he's probably like a whole foot shorter, he's like 3 times his size over there, man. So I'd lean towards Pelicans, but I'm not going near it. Let's go to the streets of Houston in this one, man. And you got to worry about the Rockets' mindset. Now, I know that now Warriors come out and play. I bet you Torrey Eason Winchie didn't do this shit. I bet you the players looking at him like, you motherfucker. They came in here and smoked us from start to finish. I really wish that game went under, man, but the war, that's how much ready the Rockets weren't ready for them. They gave up 133 versus the Warriors, man, at the house where they play their best defense. Their season's over. You got to worry about their mindset, man. Remember, these are young players. Obviously, they still want to play well, but like, you're not playing to get into the play-in tournament anymore. That your shot is done. You're done. So you have to worry about the Rockets' mindset for the rest of the season, in my opinion. And I worry about it here as well. The Heat have came out and said that they don't want to be in the play-in tournament. This is somewhat of a must-win game. Now, this one is, I'm not going to lie to you, the next game versus the Pacers is a much bigger game for the Heat, but obviously they want to win this one as well. Tyler Hero might come back in this game as well. Obviously, it's a home road back-to-back for the Heat, but they've actually played better on the road than they've played at the house. They haven't dropped back-to-back games straight up or against the spread in their last 10 games. So this would tell me that this is a Heat spot. It's Heat or nothing for me in this particular game, and I think they get it done, mainly because the Rockets know that their season's over. You could kind of tell last night they kind of just got to let go of the ropes. Like, we don't even want to play defense no more, man. Like, let's get the yacht ready. You see what I'm saying? Get the yacht ready. Where are we going? That's where the Rockets are going to be mentally, my guys. So I'd lean towards the Heat in this game. I know they're off the road, home road back-to-back, but they are the much more tougher team. They have a lot more to play for. They have defenders all over the floor to throw at Van Fleet, to throw at, like, picture Dylan Brooks, but like everybody on the floor playing with Dylan Brooks type of mindset. You know what I'm saying? So if the Heat really are serious about getting out of play-in tournament, they can go out there and win this game. They should go out there and win this game. Heavily lean to the Heat, -2.5 here, man. Let's go over to the streets of Chicago here. Maybe my dream was telling me that the building, or like the Empire State Building type of building coming down, was saying that the Knicks are going to lose today. We already know that it's a really great spot for the Bulls. First off, this team has had 3 days off, so they're rested, they're ready. This is obviously a game that they'd like to win because they want to get the 9 seed over the Hawks in that play-in tournament. At least you have the home court advantage. You look at the Knicks, and I talked about it yesterday. They have been going all over the place. They came out super sluggish versus the Kings. Kings just don't have enough offense for them boys. And guess what? The Knicks, they're always going to have their guys playing a ton of minutes, man. Always. Josh Hart, who was questionable, ended up playing 43 minutes. Miles McBride, who's a really young guy, still 43 minutes. DiVincenzo, 39 minutes. Brunson, 38 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Hardenstein, 30 minutes as well, man. So seemed like they kind of rested up Precious Achiuwa, Alec Burks, Bogdanovich for this game, but this is still a tough game. Now, I'll tell you, the Knicks have the much better offense here. Even though it is a bad spot, they do have the much better offense. But when you look at the Bulls, they do have defenders that can go head-to-head with the Knicks, man. Like, one thing I can say about the Bulls, some people don't think they play defense. I actually think they have a really great defensive team. I know that Patrick Williams is still out. He's one of their best He's one of their best defenders. I think if he's still out, he doesn't say right here, but I don't think I've seen Patrick Williams like in a little while. I think he might even be like out for the season type shit. But Torrey Craig, Vucevic. Nah, I'm playing with y'all. Guys, not a great defender. But Alex Caruso, Kobe White, DeSumnu, DeRozan can play some defense when he wants. Torrey Craig. These guys have some really great defenders, man. Javonte, Javonte Green coming off the bench, really great defenders. Real Andre Drummond, my guy is a beast out there on the boards. All of that, you see what I'm saying? I think Patrick Williams is out for the season, man. But they don't even play Javon Carter, mismatch shoe wearing ass. But the Bulls have the defense, they have the toughness. They can go up here with the Knicks. I think this is a horrible spot for the Knicks, to be honest with you, man. I think the Bulls are the right side in this game. I know the Knicks have a ton to play for, but the Bulls are much more rested here. Knicks, third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights. They're coming off a spot. They had just flew like 5,000 miles in the span of 9 days. Now you're on you went. So look, this is what they did. They were in Toronto. Then they went all the way down to San Antonio. Then they go home to New York to play OKC. Then you go down to Miami, and then you go back to the house in Sacramento, and then you gotta get back on the plane and go and face a Bulls team that has a 3-8 rest advantage. I just feel like this is somewhat could be like a schedule loss. Let me just see. Let me just check one more thing. I want to see the time zone real quick. I just want to see if they lost the hour going back into time. Where's my shit at, man? Fuck. All right. I might not have time to do that. Where's my time zone shit, man? All right. I can't see that right now, but just go look it up. See if New York is. Let me see. Here it is. So New York to Illinois. Yep. And they lost an hour. Chicago is in the central time zone. So even if they had to play a game last night, now you're going. No, they get it. They get an hour. They don't lose an hour. I'm sorry. That's my fault. They get an hour. But still, my guys, I don't like the spot for the Knicks here, to be perfectly honest with you, man. They came out sluggish. Seemed like they're starting to run out of gas. Tibbs is playing these guys a ton of minutes. I think the Bulls are the right side in this game, man. 2 top leans for me today are Bulls number 1 and then Heat number 2, guys. Let's go over to the streets of Dallas in this one, man. Mavs laying 5 points at the house versus the Warriors. I should take the Mavs here. I should be on the Mavs because this is what I said was going to happen. I said that the Warriors was going to, people that watch the show and listen, you know, I said Warriors going to beat the Mavs. I said they're going to beat Houston, and then the Mavs get revenge on Friday. And that's it. Everything has happened up until the end. And the Warriors somewhat can kind of relax. Now, they can continue winning and get as high a seed as they would, as they could possibly can. Because remember, it's a real chance the Kings could get 10. It's a real chance that the Warriors could at least get 9 and get that home court advantage in that play-in tournament. You see what I'm saying? I really hope these motherfuckers make the playoffs. They keep like reeling me back in. Like they'll have a really good stretch and then a really bad stretch. And then now they've won 6 straight, covered 5 of the last 6, have played really great defense, man. Their opponents have averaged under 100 points in the last 6 games, man. So now they're getting back to playing that championship style type of defense, making it look like they could possibly make a run in the playoffs, man. So I really need them to make the playoffs, but it's still kind of unlikely, but it's still possible. It's not out of the range, but not the greatest of spots for the Warriors here, especially after playing. They had just had a 5-game road trip. They came home for 1 game versus Dallas. Then they went to Houston. All of these games have been important. This could be somewhat a scheduled loss for the Warriors, and they could kind of feel like, hey, we got the job done. At least we got the play-in tournament locked up. You see what I'm saying? Let's gear up for the next game versus the Jazz, the next game versus the Lakers, versus the Blazers. There's a real chance that they could possibly win all 3. Definitely beating the Jazz and the Blazers. They might lose versus the Lakers, but this could be a spot where it's like, all right, guys, we went balls to the wall last night. Let's kind of not necessarily lay down, but this is a Mavs spot. I would really like to have Lively. Jason Kidd says that we hope to have him back by the end of the season, which is kind of saying like he ain't really that close to coming back. You know what I'm saying? So if I want the Mavs, I'd really like to have Lively out here. I still think that they win the game. It's really hard for me to lay the 5 with them. What do y'all think in the chat, man? Should we lay the points with the Yeah, no, that's a fact. Now, Luka's rebounds is an absolute wagon in this one. My guys say Warriors plus. They playing really hot right now, but I just feel like the Mavs gonna get the win here. I don't know if I want to lay the 5, but could be a spot where you like throw Mavs money line with something else on the parlay. I really feel like the Mavs get their get back in this one at the house where they play a lot better basketball. Remember, they've won 8 of the last 9 as well. They've been fucking balling out. You see what I'm saying? Charles says Mavs. I feel like it's a Mavs type of spot, man. I just really think the Warriors. There was a playoff game last night, man. It's really hard to come back from that. The Mavs, they were kind of just messing around with the Hawks, just like, we came out sluggish, but we know that we can win this game. You see what I'm saying? So it is a tough one, but I still lean towards Mavs, like possibly pairing them on the money line with something else because I do think they win the game. I'd lean their way minus the 5 as well, my guys. Let's go over here to the 77 figure. Say he ain't betting until the playoffs. He was on the Kings and the Nuggets yesterday. He say, man, fuck this shit, man. I'm done. I'm done with this shit, man. I ain't gonna be the one that talk you off. We're not that far away, guys. So you don't have to force it. If you want to wait to the playoffs, I'm not gonna talk you off, man. That's when I'm gonna really get back into it as well, man. But I'd lean towards the Mavs here, laying the 5. I'd lean towards Luka over its rebounds as well if it's at 9.5. Once again, let's go over to the streets of Phoenix here. Watch out for the Suns, man. Watch out for the Suns. People been talking shit about the Suns all year, man. I've just been sitting back soaking it up because I know when it gets into the playoffs, they're going to be an absolute matchup nightmare. They're starting to play a lot better. Obviously the Wolves are a tough matchup for them. The Suns have won 8 of their last 9 games versus the Wolves. For whatever reason, they've owned them. They beat them early this year, November 15th, 133-115 in Phoenix as well, guys. Like I say, the Suns, they had their set. Don't look now, but they're 7-3 straight up, 7-3 against the spread. Last 10 games, some really great wins. People thought the Cavs could fuck with them. All right, we go out there and smoke them from start to finish. It was never a game. They went out there and smoked the Pelicans. Everybody was on the Pelicans in that game. They went out there and smoked them. Devin Booker dropped 52 points, and he went crazy versus the Cavs as well, man. But Booker's gonna win MVP one of these years, man. He just got to stay healthy. 40 points versus the Cavs, a really great defense as well, man. Who else they didn't beat? They beat the Nuggets as well. They beat up on the Sixers, beat the Hawks, and then they beat the Hornets. That was a championship style type win there versus the Hornets. I'm just messing with y'all, but Suns are starting to figure shit out. They're starting to figure things out. Booker is being Booker. They got Bill, they got KD. You can't double team anybody. Now the Wolves have the advantage. Now they have the much better defensive team. I'll tell you that right now. Offensively, you'd have to trust the Suns a little bit more offensively. This is a great game to watch, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't like betting these type of games, too like clashing type of styles. The Wolves have the advantage with Gobert down low versus Nurkic. That's a huge advantage there. They have some defenders, Jalen McDaniels and Edwards, but who is going to be that third stop lockdown defender? In my opinion, like Conley's not a bad defender, but like whoever Conley is on, I want their points. So if Bill is going up against Conley, I want Bill's points. If it's Devin Booker going up against Conley, I definitely want his points. They might just hunt Conley all night in the pick and roll. That's probably that's what I would do because Jalen McDaniels is a top tier defender, man. Anthony Edwards can be a top tier defender when he'd like to, but Conley is going to be the food in this game, in my opinion, and that's what the Suns are going to notice. Who's the worst defender? Let's just keep putting them in the pick and roll, whether it's Bill, whether it's Devin Booker, or whether it's KD. They're going to keep going at you, man. And these 3 guys, that's what I've been saying all season. These guys here, man, when you never know which one of them are going off. You see what I'm saying? Like they got 3 killers out there, man. And the way Booker's been playing lately, you can't really stop him. And then sometimes Kevin Durant feel like, oh, okay, I want to hop in this shit too. And then Bill, don't forget about Bill. He's a top tier scorer as well, man. So this is a really tough game for me. Whatever you guys are betting on this one, I wish you the best of luck. It's really a clash in the type of styles, to be perfectly honest with you. Suns, much better offense. They are a smaller team. The Wolves they're much more of a tougher defensive-minded type of team as well. You see what I'm saying? So, but they do play a lot better at the house. Suns are hot right now. I'm not going against them. I'm telling you that right now, man. Last game, let's go over to the streets of LA in this one. Clippers laying 12.5 points at the house versus the Jazz. They took everybody's fucking money last night, man. It's crazy because I'm watching the game and the Nuggets, that's just how good the Nuggets are. They still had a chance to win the game at the end with the Jokic 3. See what I'm saying? I was at the spot and they was cheering loud. Man, obviously I live in Denver. Man, they was cheering loud. Everybody in there act like they had 2-3 bands on the Nuggets. You see what I'm saying? But the Clippers are coming off a huge win. I'd worry about this being a letdown spot. And also, it's not the same as the Kings, but the still Clippers had came off a 4-game road trip. 3 of them was on the East Coast, and then they came back to play Sacramento. Then the game at the house. I feel like this second game at the house, being on a back-to-back, I don't like this spot here for the Clippers, not laying double digits. Now, do I want to take the Jazz? No, I do not. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If I bet this game, I'd actually take the Jazz plus the double digits. And shout out to somebody in the chat yesterday. It was like, if the Clippers win tonight, fade them tomorrow as long as they're laying double digits. And that's exactly what they are. It's just like you got marketing out, you got Clarkson out, but now you got John Collins and Kessler out. It's like the Jazz are really like a G League squad out there. Everybody on the team is G League except for Colin Sexton. Now, Keontae George, he can ball sometimes. Sensabaugh, he can ball sometimes. Hendrick can ball sometimes. Your 7 is not a bad player. I still think that he should have kept him, but that's a G League squad other than Colin Sexton. So if the starters are G League, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lean Jazz because I think it's a horrible spot for the Clippers. But I mean, this is a G League Jazz team. At some point, you wonder when the pride is going to come in. They have lost 10 straight games. You would think that they want to come to play in this one, but man, I think it's more of a fade of the Clippers than rocking with the Jazz, to be perfectly honest with you, man. But it's just a tough game, to be perfectly honest with you, my guy. It's a tough game. I mean, it's not tough for me because it's Jazz or nothing, but it's just like I'd at least hope that they have Walker Kessler or something out there, man, or something. John Collins. If they had John Collins and Kessler and they were getting 11.5, I'd be taking the Jazz here, like full unit play. You know what I'm saying? But let me get out of here, my guys. It's Friday. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. It's 73 degrees out here in Denver. I did have a dream last night where it was like a super tall building was falling down. Maybe that's telling me that the Knicks are in a horrible spot. I already know that they're in a horrible spot, but maybe that should push me to take the Bulls here today, guys. I do like the Bulls. If I had one top play today, it would be the Bulls laying a point and a half. After that, it would be Heat minus 2.5. After that, it would be probably Luke over his rebounds. I do think the Mavs will win the game, but I'm staying away from that 5. I'd lean towards the Jazz plus 12.5. I'd lean towards the Pelicans as well, and I'd lean towards the Magic as well. And Bucks. Bucks is really a top spot today, man. But I know nobody's gonna want any part of them. But like, you know who you don't want any part of even more, and that's the fucking Toronto Raptors. I think Bucks team total over is probably their better look there because you don't care if they cover the spread or not. You just care about them getting to 123 points. So Dame is playing. They got their offensive guy back, him and Giannis. They should be pissed in this game. Middleton's gonna play. Raptors don't really have a ton of defensive presence that's gonna get in these guys' way, man. So I feel like this could be like it's a spread. Bucks first half and full game. But that team total over, it should cash today, man. Like, I gotta watch this game closely because if the Bucks, I know like they're not locked into their seed, they can still go and get they can still like be like from 2 to 4, 2 to second seed, second to third seed. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they don't have anything to play for. Right now, they're sitting at number 2. Cavs are bullshitting, but they can still possibly drop down to the 3. So I'd look for the Bucks to bounce back here in a major way offensively here, guys. This could be like how that Cavs versus Jazz game was when the Cavs came out there, trifecta, smoked them, went over their team total. That's how I feel about this game for the Bucks versus the Raptors in this one, man. So that's the show, man. It's all love. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, it's all love. Y'all like the show. If you like to hit info, hit the like button one time for the one time. Go download Action Network app as well, man. They're gonna have plenty of content over there for the women's college basketball. They got props going up. They got college basketball for the Final Four, all type of stuff, man. Baseball picks, if y'all like to bet baseball, they got experts over there as well. Whatever you're looking for, it's over there at Action Network. It's all love. I hope everybody has a great day. Best of luck with your betting. Let's get this cash, baby. We out. Let's go. You will cash.